Hello everyone and welcome to a Kickle Cubicle Garden Land tutorial. I am your host, Ness Cardinality. I'm going to talk about some aspects of gameplay. There's not too much to talk about with this game, just because for this particular race we're only doing Garden Land, and Garden Land has a lot of really easy levels. A lot of the more complex concepts in this game don't get introduced until the following 3 worlds. So we're just going to go over the basics really quickly. Most of you already probably know this stuff. We'll start with the B button. You use the B button to freeze enemies. They become an ice block. Over time, the ice block will wear down and eventually turn back into an enemy. But if you see it wearing down, like the sprite will change after something like 30 seconds, something like that. You can just shoot it again, and its timer will restart for how long it stays frozen. Now, if you go up close to a block and press B, Kickle will kick it, and you can use that block to de-waterify certain tiles and create walkable tiles in their place. So you can create paths up to the 3 bags that you need to collect. In this case, they're all on one island up there. Now, the A button is used to create stoppers. You can toggle them with the A button, you can make a stopper, you can use the A button again to remove the stopper. What a stopper will do is it'll block anything, including enemies. As you can see, I've used stoppers to wall off these enemies from actually being able to get onto the playing field. There's the ice block wearing down. You shoot it again and it comes back up. So if you kick a block into a stopper, that will allow you to kick it in a new direction on the opposite axis. So if you want to get it to the middle and kick it north here, the stopper is the way to go, and now you've got access to the 3 bags you need to collect. Before I move on to the actual tutorial, I want to talk about movement as well. Again, this is not going to be super useful because we're only doing Garden Land, and there's just not that much to it. So there are going to be very few times when we're actually going to use the movement trick. But the way movement works in Kickle Cubicle is very similar to Legend of Zelda, and I like to use that game as an example because a lot of people have played it. I'm running out of time, so I'm going to suicide and restart the level here so we don't run out of time in the middle of this explanation. Again, I'm just going to wall off the enemies for this. So yeah, movement works very similar in this game to The Legend of Zelda in that it's tile-based. But the difference between this game and The Legend of Zelda is, in this game, as soon as you stop moving Kickle, he will instantly gravitate toward the center of whatever tile he's closest to. So you can't stop him on a half, like between 2 tiles. In Zelda, you can move on, like say you want to move left or right, you can do so either directly on a square or halfway between the next row and the row you were on. But in Kickle Cubicle, you can only move directly on rows. And the reason I want to talk about his movement is that, exactly like in The Legend of Zelda, you can sort of speed up your movement if you move somewhere around 3/4 of the distance between one square and the next square, and then you change your axis direction. So if I want to go like up, left, up, left, up, left, I can go like this, and then right down, right down, right down. So we're walking all the way to the center of the blocks, or of the tiles, and this is our movement speed. But if we do it just a little bit faster, what's going to happen is when we get past halfway up and we press left, it's going to sort of complete the movement up and immediately start our direction left. So it's going to look like this. It's a little faster. So again, I'll go through it like normal first, as if we're walking straight to the center of the tiles, right down, right down, right down, up, left, up, left, up, left. Then I'm going to speed it up. So I'll do that once more. Up, left, up, left, up, left, right down, right down, right down. Then speed up, left, up, left, up. It's hard to say, but you can see it's faster. You're going to get used to it by just working out the motion on your own. You'll see, again, if Kickle doesn't walk more than half the distance to the next block, the game will just push him back to the block he was on. So here I'm just tapping down, and because I'm not holding it long enough, Kickle moves back to the center of the block he started on. So yeah, if you want to speed up your movement and you have to move on multiple axes, you can just sort of cheat by changing your direction just a little early. And again, I'm just trying to do it on the same... See, if you don't do it properly there, it'll center you back on the block you were on, or the tile you were on. So you just want to get used to timing. But yeah, if you're going diagonal, you'll see that the advantage of speed can sort of multiply. You can do the same thing in Zelda. I don't know if it's... I don't think it's as advantageous in Zelda, but you'll see skilled runners doing it all the time. There is only one level in particular where this actually needs to be done for optimal strategies, and that's level 12, which I'll talk about when we get there. But yeah, in the meantime, it's just a really good speed-up device. And again, if you have trouble with it, I would advise like not taking any risks near enemies if it comes down to that, because it's not going to save you all that much time. I'll run a timer while I do this just to see how we're doing, but if I happen to die on any level, if I happen to mess up a level, I'll just die and restart the levels so that I can show you how to do the optimal strategy. This isn't speedrun in itself, but we'll leave the timer going anyway, just in case I don't die, and we'll see what the final time looks like. Now in level 1, all we have to do is shoot 2 enemies straight up to make a path on one column to the bags, but we don't want to do it on the center column, because if we try, the 2 enemies will collide, and one will change direction. And that will move it away from the center column. That'll cost us some time. So instead we do it on the one column to the left or one column to the right, whatever you prefer. In level 2, a couple things happen really fast. We're going to go 2 columns to the right. You can also do this 2 columns to the left. But we're going to shoot one enemy up, put a stopper beside it. Oop, that didn't work. Again, I'll just suicide and do it properly. You have infinite lives in this game, but you see how much time it costs you when you lose a life, because it has to reset everything here. So we'll do this again, shoot one enemy up, put a stopper to the right, get the bag, freeze this one and shoot it over, and we have a path. Again, verbally I have to go through the directions pretty quickly, so if you don't catch everything, you can always just go back and take a look at the level again. After level 2, this animated corn talks to you. You would just want to mash A to get through the text there. That'll happen once more after level 17. Here we have to shoot 3 ice blocks up the center, and this time we will do the center. You'll see the enemies collide here, but we'll do this and use stoppers to make it go faster. I think I'll just suicide and explain this level again. You can see I already created the path to the top. I guess we don't really need a timer for this, it doesn't really make sense, but if I'm suiciding on purpose to show things, but yeah, we shoot one up, freeze this one, create a stopper, and then change the stopper to the right for the last one. And I want to point out at this point, if anything I point out seems too difficult, you don't really have to worry. The important thing is, like again, all these levels are really easy. The basic concept is just shoot a bunch of stuff towards the bags. Here we're going to shoot 2 up this column, which was 1 to the left of the starting, and then we need to shoot things up on the edges. 3 on each edge after we shoot those initial 2 up on the column 1 left of center. And then we just collect them from right to left. And again, you see, every time I take a turn, every time I turn a corner around that water, I'm trying to cheat the distance so that it boosts me ahead. Level 5 is the most simple level of the entire run. Just shoot a block left, go up a column, and shoot a block right. Or up a row, rather. It looks like this level was designed, like there's a 1-up at the bottom. This level was, it appears to be designed so that you would go after the 1-up before you complete the level, and that makes it a little longer, but of course we're speedrunning, so we won't do that. Here we need to get a block between the 3 bags, so you see 1 column to the left of where we start. We're just going to shoot stuff down to get there. So we shoot the first 2 down, we put a stopper here, and then we use this one. I like to freeze the chicken up there so that he won't get in our way. And again, we just alternate the stopper position. Oh, this time the chicken did try to get in our way. But yeah, that's a common theme, alternating the stopper position so that we can use the launcher's enemies from either side to shoot stuff down the same column. That's a recurring theme that you'll see a lot. Here I'm going to freeze the enemy above, because otherwise he gets in the way. And then the rest is just freeze the one on the right, shoot it up and put a stopper, freeze the one on the left, shoot it up, and freeze the one on the right and use the stopper to shoot it up, and then everything's clear. This one's a little complex. There was one other thing I didn't mention about enemies, and that's that they will change direction in order to follow you on a column. So that's why I sort of waited there, so that this enemy wouldn't follow me. So here I've cleared a path to the end, but we're going to suicide so I can talk us through this again. Again, if you lose 3 lives, it'll give you this continue screen. You just mash A to speed up the text and click continue. So yeah, we're going to go 2 up, shoot right and collect the first bag, then go straight to the bottom, shoot this one left. We're going to wait until that blob is 1 from the bottom, then we're going to move so that he doesn't change direction. We're going to freeze this guy before we shoot, collect the one on the left, and then we're in position. So yeah, you want to make sure that a blob, if you don't want a blob to change direction, like the one on the right that was moving down, you want to wait until he's actually in the row above yours before you start moving up. And that way, if he's already there, he won't cross over. Here the chickens do all the work. The chicken is going to open us off this island. We're going to shoot this one down, and the rest is pretty self-explanatory. We freeze that guy, and the chicken will open it up for us. Not much to talk about there. Now here we're going to introduce the spiky balls. The spiky balls always hug one wall, and you can tell which wall they're on because they're off-center on the tile that they're on. So here you can clearly see that they're hugging the outside walls. We're going to move 2 left, shoot 1 up, freeze the one on the right, and shoot it up, and just collect both of them. And I do it in that order because that way the spikes don't get in the way. I don't remember, if you try to do it the other way, I don't remember if the spikes get in the way or not, but this way definitely works. Now here, we're going to wait for a blob on the right. We're going to shoot it to the right, then we're going to move below the tile we create and put a stopper on the block we created. Then we have to shoot 4 up the middle, so we freeze that one and we just shoot the rest straight up. I'll do that again, just in case. In case there's anything that needs clarification. So we're going to wait for this blob on the right, make a new tile, walk past the new tile, put a stopper on the new tile, and then freeze the middle guy and shoot 4 up the middle column. And we're done. Now remember I said in level 12, we have to make use of this movement concept. Again, if you're shaky with it, if you're inconsistent, if it's not working for you, you don't have to worry about this. You can find another way that's safer. But what we're going to do is we're going to go up and left, and when we turn left, we have to use a little bit of that cheating motion, and then we can get out of there without that spike on the left hitting us. And the rest is easy. You go left, right, and then up, using the A button to remove the stoppers that are already there. Level 13 is the most complicated. It's very hard to talk through, so all I'll say is what I'm doing, which is, it sounds pretty basic. You shoot 4 up the middle, and then 3 up the 1 column to the left, and that's all you need. So that's 3, and 4. And then 3 up this one, so we put a stopper there, and if we get there in time, we clear this stopper, and this guy comes right into the path. Again, if you can't memorize everything I just did there, all you need to know is 4 up the middle and then 3 up 1 column to the left. That's it. If you can't do it as fast, the blobs will eventually come to you anyway. So here we're going to go down 2, 1 right, shoot one up, put a stopper there, freeze this guy, and then just collect. That one's pretty short. Now this one, you need to time your shots to freeze 2 at once here, and I like to use the 8th music beat to do it. So like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and you just mash on that 8th beat. Shoot both up, and then you put a stopper, and then we shoot one in each column, and look what's going to happen. That guy pushes this bag over so that we don't have to shoot another one. If we did have to shoot another one, we would shoot up here and just shoot it across and open up that path. So I'm going to suicide and do that again. I'm not going to talk over the music this time, just remember 8th beat and then mash your firing to freeze both of them at once. And then if you did it right, the penguin's going to come up and push that bag right over for you, which is just really neat. I guess there's really no point in keeping this timer running. It doesn't mean anything because I keep suiciding to show things. So here we need 4 up the middle column, 1 up the middle, 4 on the right, 4 on the left. So there's 1 on the right, 1 on the middle, and then the rest is just alternation. I'll do this level again. We already got our 1 up the middle, now we're doing the 4 on the right and 4 on the left, using a communal stopper on each side. Once we've done all these, all the paths will be open. And you'll notice this spike will push the bag up 1 up and 1 to the right, so I can just walk down there and get it. But we're going to suicide and do that again. So I'm going to go 3 right, shoot this one up, put a stopper, and then this guy is our 1 in the middle. Then we're going to move the stopper 1 to the left. And then we just do 4 on the right, 4 on the left as quickly as we can, which is what I'm doing right now. And again, here's an example of how, like when I said, it's not really necessary on a lot of levels to cheat your distance boosting as much as you can, because like on this level there's a lot of waiting for the blobs to actually come out. That's one thing I forgot to mention before, by the way. If you freeze a blob, the launcher where it came from won't launch anymore until that ice block is actually off the board. So here we need to shoot 2 up, 2 right, and 2 left. So we're going to start with 1 up and 1 right. Then we'll come up and shoot our second one up, collect the bag, and we're going to put a stopper here so that the blobs actually come down so that they help us. And you can see now we can use this one to shoot to the left, and use this one to shoot to the left. That's the last level. Again, an animated tomato is going to talk to you here, so just mash A through the text. I think there's 4 messages. 3 or 4, I forget. Yeah, 4 messages. Whoop, that was weird. And then you have to beat the boss. So the boss is really easy. I'm gonna, while this animation is happening, which is pretty lengthy, there's no way to skip it, I'll just explain to you what happens with this boss. But before I do, I just want to point out that you need to verify with the tournament organizers the exact moment when you're allowed to reset. Like, you have to hit the chicken 3 times, but I'm not sure if you just have to hit him or if you have to wait for his death animation. He's going to hop up and down 3 times while flashing and then disappear. So just make sure you know exactly when you're allowed to move on to the next game, because I don't want you to get disqualified on a technicality. So what we're going to do is walk up 2 squares to the 2 squares below the chicken and wait until we hear the 12th beat of music, then walk down and walk 3 to the right, 1 to the left, shoot him, and here I shoot him again, and obviously it's going to hit him, but I'm going to suicide again just to better illustrate everything. So again, here you mash through the text as fast as you can. But yeah, I'm just going to talk through what I did. So again, I walk straight up to 2 blocks below the chicken and wait until it's somewhere between the 12th and 13th music note. I think there's a pretty wide window of when you can go. Then you go down to the 3rd lowest row and immediately walk 3 blocks right. Then you walk 1 block back left and immediately shoot the ice block up. You're then going to go 1 left and 2 up to the next ice block, but wait until when you hit the chicken with the first ice block, he's going to jump. You want to wait until he lands from that jump before you shoot the next one. And that'll hit him, and he'll be in the right place, so you go over to the 3rd block and shoot him again. And this is what it'll look like. And that's it. So somewhere in this area you will be turning off the game and moving on to the next one, or loading up the next game. And that is Kickle Cubicle Gardenland. Hope you all enjoy this game. It's a great puzzle game. It gets much more difficult, obviously. These levels are relatively easy, even if it might take you longer to solve the levels initially. But they don't offer too many difficulties in terms of getting stuck or enemies getting in your way. They're pretty much basic levels. But yeah, I hope you really enjoy the rest of the game as well. Best of luck in the Big 20 number 5 if you participate, and I hope this was helpful.